Okay, so it's finally time for my review. So, as for the device itself, yeah, let's get right into this. As for the device itself, it is awesome. I love it. Um, However, let me talk more about the features. So, this is some of the accessories that comes with the Velo, and so you have two size of O-rings here, the large and then the small one here. The large ones I would say are good enough for bars that are 22 centimeters in diameter. It does have a little rubber thing on the back. This yellow piece is like silicone or rubber. It's a material with high friction. So it, I mean, it's okay when it's mounted on here. It's all right. I mean, it could be better, it could be worse. But personally, I wouldn't even consider mounting this on the handlebars. Um, Instead, I would get this mount here, which, by the way, if you watch the YouTube video, it'll tell you to assemble it with the two screws, these two screws being vertical in this direction. But if you read the directions on the actual package that it comes in, it'll tell you to do horizontal in this direction. And I can confirm to you that it doesn't matter. Just try to make sure it's straight if you're OCD like me. So this was like $15. And for this device, it is like absolutely priceless. It is by far like easily I would have paid $15 again for it. Like super nice. If this didn't have this mount, I probably wouldn't even have bought it, to be honest. Um, but let's actually get into the device itself. So, uh, so I can't show you because I wasn't able to. The phone I'm using to record right now is also the phone that has this ride on it. So, if you don't have any ride, what you'll see is as long as your phone is connected, there'll be a phone symbol on here with a check mark, and there'll be a little bicycle, so you can like move it around, or maybe I'll show you that towards the end. But so it also shows you, I believe, I'm not 100% sure because I just don't know, but it shows a mileage on the main screen with no route on it, and I think that's how many miles you've ridden with the device. I don't know though. So as for the device itself, as you can see, it is very accurate in terms of direction. And I can confirm it's 90 degrees off now. I was going to say, I can confirm that at least whenever you're riding the bike, it definitely is very good with knowing which direction you're going in. And I mean, it's right now, so, it's hit or miss whenever you're standing still. But whenever you're actually riding the bike, it is very accurate. It gives a couple of beeps whenever you come up to your turns, which, if you're riding a bicycle, I would say is audible enough. But this is an e-bike that goes 40 miles an hour, so it's not loud enough for me to hear within my motorcycle helmet that I wear. So, um, something that's really nice is right here on the display, you have this bar, and it fills up as you ride your ride. So if I was halfway through the ride, it'd be halfway full. Scrolling through the menu here, you have your estimated time of arrival, which it doesn't seem to be updating itself. I mean, I've written, according to that mileage I just told you about on the main screen, I think I've ridden 100 or 250 miles or 243 miles with this GPS active. And so my point is that it hasn't updated itself to realize that I don't go bicycle speeds, I go 40 miles an hour. So this ETA is twice as long as it's supposed to be. A little over twice as long, actually. I can tell you this ride here will only take me 30 minutes, not an hour and 20 minutes. So, I mean, it could be a little bit better. Speaking of things that could be better, I don't think this is really the device itself. So, the phone that I'm using right now, the signal is pretty slow, and because of that, this device, this GPS, it will load really slow. So I've missed turns before because it's not showing me in the right spot, but that's more so my phone's fault as opposed to the GPS's fault. So if we scroll down to the next screen here, this one is probably my favorite feature that I didn't know it existed. I didn't know existed um, before buying the device. I'm definitely struggling with this review, like with my verbiage and stuff. However, it's unscripted, and I'm not a YouTuber. And so whenever I seen those other videos, I was like, wow, these videos kind of suck. Like, they don't show you all the features. So there's another feature for you. So, and it is very accurate too. I haven't figured out quite what the colors are supposed to be for. So this is orange and this is yellow. I don't know what the colors are supposed to be for. Maybe what it is high speed areas, but then again, yeah, I don't know. Then again, it goes towards the end of the ride. So yeah, like I said, I don't know what these things are about, and there's no way to find out. So that's definitely a downside. And it shows, what is this, like elevation, I assume. I don't know. It doesn't tell you anything. That's one thing I don't like about this device, is like it's a little bit too Apple for me. You can tell it's kind of dumbed down for stupid people instead of being like, ultra customizable and stuff like that. So it doesn't tell you what these colors are for. And if anybody knows, then tell me, because I need to know, because maybe I'm the idiot that it just isn't opening my eyes and reading the thing in front of me. So it shows you your mile per hour, your average miles, or your average mile per hour, the amount of time you've been riding, as well as a clock, and this is your distance. And then it shows you the device's battery and your phone's battery. And for reference, for this device, I ride about an hour every day, and we're at about half battery right now. And I've ridden it, I think, like 3 days without charging it so far. So it gives you a little bit of an idea on the battery. And as you can see here, there's also brightness. So, however, I don't think that the brightness is very useful, considering that was at maximum brightness. And I ride this mostly at night, so I keep the brightness all the way down. I mean, I don't know, maybe it resets itself whenever you end your ride. So as for the options, there's not a whole lot going on. This is a really nice option, though. If you're planning on making multiple stops during your ride and you already have it planned out, you can skip the stop with here, so that's pretty dope. And then, so yeah, I think I showed you everything now. Yeah, so that's your distance. Yeah, that's everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this ride, so that way I can show you what I was talking about in the beginning of the video, because like I said, this is unscripted. So, oh, speaking of which, this screen right here, and you might have just noticed, I already pressed the button to accept this. For some reason, every time without failure, it won't accept the button press. It just won't accept it. Like, I was just outside about 5 minutes ago, and I had to press this button. I don't know, I got angry with it, and I just kept pressing it a bunch of times, really quickly, really slowly, and I just tried pressing and holding, none of which worked. What it took was perseverance. I just had to keep trying. Eventually it worked. So it didn't work the first press. Let's see if it works this press. No. Hey, there we go. So it'll tell you your distance, the time spent, and your average mile per hour. So this is the screen I was talking about. 263 miles an hour. Or not miles an hour, miles distance. I believe, like I said, that's how many miles I've ridden this with the GPS active. So you got a little bicycle here. Oh, something I forgot to mention too is if you're going down the road and you like the road that you're on. Oh, well, I guess I could just show you that too. So yeah, the bicycle. It's fun. It's cute. If you ever break down, you got a little thing to enjoy. But so anyway, you can start tracking a ride from here if I wanted to by holding up here. and selecting yes. And see, the yes selection works perfectly for every other thing except for ending the ride. So I assume that it's just a software update that needs to happen. At least I hope. Anyway, so it's tracking my ride now, and it's not going to show me the GPS at all. However, if I like the road, I can hold on the right side and... Or what screen do I have to be on? Yeah, there we go. So you got to be on this screen apparently. Or, you know what? Let's try another screen. Okay, so you can do it on the screen. So you just got to be on a screen that's not the options. And you can hold the right side to say that you like a road and hold the left side to say you don't like a road. And they say that they'll customize your journey based off of that. Unfortunately, I haven't seen this come to fruition. So down the street from me, there is construction right now, and I have deliberately gone on that road and hit the dislike for it every time. I think I've done it a total of 7 times, and on the road that would be a perfect road to go on instead, I've gone on and I've hit the positive several different times, and it still tries to recommend that I go the other direction, which I do not want to go because it is a super bumpy road that needs to be repaved. So I'm not too impressed with that at all. But something I'm impressed with is Type-C charging. I shouldn't be impressed. I should just expect that. But most companies are too stupid to realize that this is 2025 and we need to knock off the micro USB charging. So yeah, overall, I would say that this is a very nice device. The only 2 complaints that I really have about it are that button press not working. Well, I think that's 3 complaints. The brightness changing itself, and like I said, the roads not updating to stop taking me down a road. And I also feel like well, this is probably more specific to me because I have memory problems, but I feel like you should be able to I don't know, basically put in the GPS. So for example, that road that I just mentioned that is really bumpy and needs repaved. Right now it is being repaved, and there's no way that I know of that I can go into the GPS and tell the GPS hey, this road, it's just not an option. You literally cannot take me down this road. So with that in mind, I would say that it would in fact be a problem of coming up to a road that's closed, but this does not know it's closed because it's using its own GPS, and there's no way to tell it hey, by the way, in a week from now this road's going to be closed, or hey, right now this road is closed and it's going to continue to be closed for the next, well, what's this road closed for, 4 months or something like that. So that's definitely a downside. But I mean, would I buy it again? Definitely. For the price, $100, or wait, $115 plus the $15 for the mount, so $130 all in. I would say it is definitely worth its price. However, if you are unable to mount it here, I mean, I wouldn't get it because, like I said, it has problems with button presses sometimes, and I mean, I already have I have a JBL Click here, a music controller, and I already have to deal with it rotating itself downwards. Don't get me wrong, it's not very easy to rotate it, but it still happens while I'm writing, and something I have to fix. And I don't need 2 things that I need to fix. Not to mention that it'd be kind of hard to reach. I mean, hands out here, so I can just barely reach over and hit the play button on my JBL Click. So if this little GPS here was mounted here, or even here, I'd have to reach out here. So I could do that, but if it was out here, that's just unreasonable. I cannot make that happen. And on this side of my handlebars, I mean, maybe I can make that happen. But I would say it's easier for me to just not have to worry about where things are on my handlebars and just take my hand off and press directly on here. Because, I mean, this thing is stable. The whole bike will move before this thing moves. So, oh, the brightness just went back up. So, definitely recommend this mount. The other one, garbage. I actually just kept it for this review, and now it will get thrown away. So, I hope this review was helpful for somebody. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I will answer them. And have a decent day.